All right, everyone. Welcome back to part 4 episode of Blender rendering, Blender 3D modeling and rendering. In this part, we'll be focusing on character modeling and techniques, especially picking up with the modifiers that we did last time. A little bit of I think I mentioned a little bit about the subdivision modifiers and actually, if I can show you here. So the main focus of today's topic, guys, is the creating an Among Us character, in Blender. Now, it's going to be a low poly character, and depending on how you want it, it can be more. It can have more subdivisions. It can have more, as in like it can be more detailed, or it can be a little bit of low poly, or if you want to be as detailed as you want it to be, um, feel free to try and subdivide it furthermore down into a really detailed model. So we got all the steps here. So it's just a bit of some of the steps are duplicated. So we only have 13 steps here, and from here you'll be able to modify the character based on your own based on your own liking. And yeah, so the first thing that I want to mention is the uses of modifiers. So I think I mentioned a little bit about modifiers last time. They're very useful. They're like the most common tools that we use to create low poly characters, not just low poly characters, but also other object models and even environmental models. But in this one, in this specific one, we're just gonna focus on two modifiers. One is the sub. Okay, so I'll just show it here in Blender. The first one is the subdivision surface modifier, and the other one is the mirror modifier today. Okay, so all right. So first things first, I've got the screencast keys. Okay, so everyone can see what the buttons I'm pressing on the keyboard and my mouse here. So I've got the little Among Us character model down here. Now I haven't colored it. That's what I'll probably show you guys how to color it later on. But let's just quickly jump into creating that one. Okay, so first, all of you probably have a little cube at the ready. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna get that cube. Okay, we're just gonna get that cube. Press N to get these toolbars here on the right side, but you want to go to item. I think I was in screencast keys because I had to enable this. So just go to item. If you're not on one of those tabs, just go to item transform, and then you want to lock the sorry, not Z rotation, the Z scale for the cube. Now, apart from that, you want to have 0.7 and 0.7 for X and Y. Okay, now that we're done with that, we just scale down. Okay, we can close the transform tab, but we can close it, but I'm not gonna close it. I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna put in a subdivision surface modifier. There we go. Now I want to get the mesh a little bit upwards in the on the z-axis right down here, just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press tab. Okay, I'm going to press tab to go into edit mode. Now when you go into edit mode and when you have subdivision applied, it's going to look like this little diamond shape. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go to vertex select mode, and you want to okay, actually, I want to make sure that everyone's in the right one here. So what I meant by clicking the Y preset viewpoint here is this one. So this one, there we go. So I want to make sure that I'm looking at it from this direction, from the Y axis, and I'm going to select these two hang on, oh wait, so there we go. Finally got it to select. So select that two vertex, and I'm going to move it a little bit back down the x-axis for negative 0.2735. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to press G, okay? I'm going to press G to move my vertex, and then I'm going to press at the same time. So if you guys remember adding constraints to moving, I'm going to press Z, actually not Z, it's X, I forgot. So X to start moving on the x-axis. Now, if you look at the top left corner around here, oopsie, that's okay, that's okay. If you look at around here, see these little numbers that I've got around here, see? So if we move it like manually, you can see that these numbers go crazy. So we're just gonna like type in the numbers that we want. So the first number that we want is negative 0.2735. There we go. Now that's what I want. Okay, it should look like this. Should look like this. Okay. Once we're done with that, we're gonna come to step 3. We're gonna add some edge loops to the middle like this. Control R to add edge loop there. And then we're just gonna add one edge loop. Now, if you don't know what an edge loop is, it's basically a tool to like cut your cut and slide your mesh basically. So I'm gonna apply that, and then I'm gonna drag it down a little bit like that. Okay, like that. Depending on how you want it, you can drag it further down, but I think that's good enough. And then we're gonna hit apply. We gotta go back out into object mode first, and then we're gonna hit apply there. There we go. That looks good enough. There we go. Now we can start working on step 5 now. Step 4 now. Okay. So once you go out of the edit mode, we want to obviously hit apply on the subdivision modifier. I've already hit apply there. Now we're gonna have some changes on the vertices on the bottom of the mesh. Okay, basically this mesh. The first vertex that I want to select is to come around here. Okay, so on the green one, on the green line, which is the y-axis, you want to select this little vertex. Okay, again, this little vertex, and that is on step 4, this picture. Okay, that vertex, and I'm going to move it along the y-axis for negative 0.3033. Now, if it does not look like this, you want to like triple check so that it looks like this. Okay, now that I've got this vertex done, I want to go ahead and select my next vertex, which is this one. Okay, again, I'm going to show you guys here. This is the vertex. Okay, so make sure you're like viewing the mesh from the bottom so that you can see the vertex that we have to select here. Okay, now that I've got that selected, I believe I will be in step 5 now. There we go. So I've got the pictures here so that you guys can follow. Select that G, and I believe it would be on the x-axis. Okay, so that's correct. Negative 0.09874. Now that's correct. Okay, once that's done, I'm gonna quickly go ahead and go to the next one, which is this one, and that's on step 6. I'm gonna go to the document, and I'm going to get that a little bit back. So negative 0.1 on the y-axis. Okay, you can follow the steps here. It was step 6. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go to step 7, which is to get this guy right here. Okay, so we're done with these. We're done with this guy and this guy. Now we're going to select this vertex. Press G to get it to move, and then we're going to press at x-axis. Okay, we're going to press x-axis, and now this is the only time that we are not going to put negative. It's going to be positive, so it is 0.09734. There we go. Like you can see that you form a little waist here, and that is what we want. Okay, once we're done with that, we want this vertex. We want to select that vertex, and then finally around step 8, G, negative 0.09019. Oh, did I press negative? I should be negative. Actually, that's not right. Let me just, I may have moved it on the wrong axis. We're supposed to be on the y-axis. So negative 0.09019. There we go. That's correct. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better now. That is it. That's those are the hardest steps, hardest 8 steps. Okay, so it should look like this. It should look like this from the bottom. Here, sorry. So this is how we want to look like that. So here, there we go. So we can like, sorry about that. So now we finally look like that. We want to go ahead and go to step 9, where we select this viewport right here. Okay, we're gonna select that. We're going to select that viewport, and then see, now we're gonna select this again so that I got Y on my right side. That's good enough. I'm going to select this view, which is a wireframe view, to get this part. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this vertex select. I've already have that on, so I'm going to select this entire left side, and then I'm going to delete the vertices there. Now, when I deleted it, I got something like this. It's a hollow one, because the next step, what I want to do is I want to use the mirror modifier, because I want this basically this part of the mesh to be on the other side as well. So hit the modifier there, and then apply the mirror modifier. There we go. So now don't panic if it's like this. We just have to select Y and Y here, and then deselect this so that it works perfectly well. There we go. And now don't hit apply yet, because we're not out of editing everything yet. So we're gonna go in, and then we're gonna select these meshes. Okay, we're gonna select these meshes. Probably I didn't probably mention that there actually. That's okay. We're gonna select those meshes. Okay, we're gonna select those meshes, and then what we're gonna do is hang on. It's not those two meshes. I'm very sorry. It's those two meshes. Okay, sorry, those two faces of the mesh, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extrude out down here on the z-axis like this. Okay, now I've got a little I've got my legs, and then I'm going to rotate on the x-axis so that they stay flat on the ground. And then the next thing is I want to add another modifier again, which is the subdivision surface modifier, so that it's more smoother. Okay, it's smoother. And then I'm going to add more loop cuts here, just like this. And I'm going to drag it down a little bit like this so that it's nicer there. There we go. Now that we've got everything done, we're going to press tab to go out of edit mode, and then we're going to hit apply on these guys to get the modifiers there. There we go. Now, the easiest part is this. If you guys remember the extrusion tool, I've been using the extrusion tool for a while, if you guys noticed. So I was using extrusion tool to get these legs down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the extrusion tool to give a little visor here. So shift select everything, E to extrude, and then on the x-axis I'm going to do it like this, and then scale it down a little bit. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. And then for the backpack, just select everything like here. Okay, I use the tool there, so you don't have to use that tool. And then on the x-axis, there we go. Now I finally got our Among Us character. Now, if you remember how to apply materials, I suggest apply materials on your own. If you don't know how to apply materials, maybe look back at one of the videos that part 3 videos about how to apply materials. But it's simply just this one. So hit this, click new, and then material one's fine. We're gonna go to base color, and then I'm gonna apply red color here for now. Okay, and then that color is not going to appear. Why? Because we probably have not assigned it yet. 1, 2 is because we are in a solid viewport. Now we want to go into material preview there, and now we can see that we've already applied it there. So that is looking pretty good. And in the next video, in the next part, I will show you how to get all the models that we've built so far, and then we're gonna put that into like a little photography, I forgot what's it called actually. It's called a little backdrop there. Yeah, we're gonna create a little backdrop, and then we're gonna have some lighting there, some camera there, and then we're gonna have what we call a render. We're gonna render out the image of our models. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. Feel free to make any challenges, as in like you can like try to cut this piece in half and then like add a little bone there to make sure to make it look like it's got a little it's got killed by another Among Us character. So feel free to add your little designs to these characters. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you in the next part.